The Rock's final boss character is returning, why LA Knight was absent from this week's WWE Raw, Triple H must take the undisputed WWE Championship off Cody Rhodes, Austin Theory's absence is good for him, backstage issue on WWE Raw, WWE accused of turning its back on loyal fans, WWE has gone downhill since Vince McMahon's exit, WWE has gone in the crapper since Vince McMahon left, why WWE made WrestleMania ad with major stars only, a female WWE star is getting a backstage role because of Shawn Michael, WWE scraps major John Cena plans. Let's dive right in. Why LA Knight was absent from this week's WWE Raw. This week's Raw picked up right after Saturday night's main event 41. The crew wasted no time starting the road to Survivor Series, War Games. CM Punk showed up with the World Heavyweight Gold for the first time, the tag titles got a second fight, Rey Mysterio walked out again, and the night stayed packed. One huge name never showed his face. LA Knight. The megastar normally owns Monday nights. With War Games so close, everyone thought he would jump into the story right away. He got zero airtime, not even a quick name drop. Here are 3 hard-hitting reasons he stayed gone. Number 1, sign stunt burns LA Knight backstage. Last week, LA Knight fought Braun Breaker. On his way to the ring, he grabbed a fan sign and shoved it at the hard camera. The cardboard screamed, "We want LA Knight, not Jay." Jey Uso was minutes away from fighting for the empty World Heavyweight title at SNME 41. Knight's move could have turned the crowd even colder on the Yeet Master. No official word says Knight is in trouble, but if the office is mad, skipping Raw this week keeps him out of the fire. Number 2, creative pulls the plug on LA Knight's rocket. The guy is over like crazy, yet the win column stays empty. He ate the loss in the Battle Royal for the vacant world title shot, got flattened by Braun Breaker last week, and never stepped foot inside Saturday night's main event XLI. 3 strikes in a row. When the booking team stops believing, the easiest fix is to yank the star off TV. No screen time on Raw equals no push. Number 3, monster twist loading. Knight flips bad. Raw planted the first War Games seeds. Logan Paul joined the Vision and laid out CM Punk. Battle lines are drawn. Punk needs backup. Everyone assumes LA Knight hates the Vision enough to stand with Punk. Wrong. Creative might flip the script hard. The megastar could spit in Punk's face, turn heel, and slide right next to Logan Paul. Punk never once said Knight's name while listing future challengers. That snub can light the fuse. Keeping Knight off TV tonight leaves the crowd blind and screaming for answers. Logan stole the spotlight, so the big betrayal gets saved for next week or later. One absence. One mind-blowing swerve. Triple H must take the undisputed WWE Championship off Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes won back the undisputed WWE Championship from John Cena at SummerSlam 2025. Since then, he has defended his championship on only 3 occasions. And that too, only against Drew McIntyre. This in itself explains that the creative team is either bereft of good ideas for Cody, or the American Nightmare himself isn't willing to work with other talents. Here is why Triple H, as the head of the creatives, should now consider installing some other superstar as a WWE champion. There's also no second opinion on the fact that this second reign of Cody is far from convincing. The fans have already started to turn on him, especially after his last 2 title matches. During the title match on SmackDown, Cody used his title to end the match by DQ, a dirty way of retaining his championship. Then, in his second match at SNME, Cody used an illegal mean to knock out McIntyre from the match. He gave a DDT to McIntyre on the title belt that was placed on the wrestling mat. These moves by Cody Rhodes have already started to turn the fans' opinion against him. A lot of fans are now calling out for removal of Cody as the champion, as they don't want to heel Cody. Maybe it is a tactic employed by the creative team to slowly turn him heel and turn the fans' perception towards him. The blue brand is also losing its glimmer with each passing day. The numbers also corroborate this, as the ratings of SmackDown have consistently falling down. Cody Rhodes is the leading face on SmackDown, and the blame of poor ratings for the show fall on him. Maybe the fans are bored with Cody leading the show as the champion, and instead they want someone else. SmackDown certainly needs a creative boost, and there are superstars in the locker room on whom Hunter can count. Randy Orton is one of them. The 14-time WWE champion has been denied a title run for a long time. Many fans also openly contend that the WWE management is slowly burying Orton's legacy. Apart from Orton, there are superstars like AJ Styles, Finn Balor, and Sami Zayn, whom the company can give a creative push to drive the ratings of SmackDown. Cody Rhodes could be given some time off for the time being. There's no doubt over the fact that Cody Rhodes is the face of WWE, but maybe that's not enough for the ratings of the company. Rather than banking on the same superstar, WWE should work on pushing other superstars and try to hand over the championships. Randy Orton and AJ Styles are 2 superstars who can be pushed as champions. In essence, everything should be done at this point to make a few other superstars at par with Cody Rhodes. Relying on just one superstar and shoving him down the throats of the fans is a risky move that could backfire. It now remains to be seen how WWE books the American Nightmare in the next few months. Austin Theory's absence is good for him. A WWE star has claimed that Austin Theory's on-screen absence is a good thing. Theory has not been seen on WWE programming since July this year and was quietly taken off WWE's internal active roster and added to their internal injury list. This also led to his tag team with Grayson Waller, known as the A-Town Down Under, being dissolved as the Aussie aligned himself with the New Day. Since then, Waller has taken shots at Theory and even called him overrated. Now, during an appearance on Insight with Chris Van Vliet, Waller took another dig at his former tag team partner, saying that him being gone is a good thing. anything. Theory? Oh yeah, he was the big idiot. The big jacked idiot. Yeah, I haven't seen him. That's kind of crazy. He's been gone for a long time. That's a good thing. I think that's a positive, he said. He was then asked what if Theory comes back, and Waller replied that he has nothing to say about him and it's in the past. I'm good, dude. That's if he comes back. I haven't heard from him. Have you heard from him? I got nothing to say about Austin Theory. That's the past. I think it's sometimes things run their course and you just gotta move on and hang with the New Day now. That's a much more positive experience, Waller added. A-Town Down Under was climbing the ranks in the tag team division on Raw, and WWE had more plans for the duo. An on-screen breakup between Theory and Waller was also teased. However, those plans had to be shelved after Theory's undisclosed injury. Earlier, it was reported that Austin Theory was penciled in to align with the Vision for the War Games match at Survivor Series. However, the unfortunate injury to Seth Rollins left WWE scrambling, and it might delay the return of the former United States champion to TV. Still, there are people within the promotion who want to see Theory involved in the creative plans going forward. Backstage issue on WWE Raw. There was an issue backstage on Raw this week, according to reports. The show featured the newly crowned WWE World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk in the opening segment. The segment saw Punk deliver a message to his nemesis Seth Rollins before saying he is open to defending his title against the talent in the locker room. The Second City Saint was then interrupted by a returning Logan Paul and then The Vision. A brawl between the stars broke out, leading to a chaotic start to Raw. But the chaos wasn't limited to the ring. According to Brian Alvarez of the Wrestling Observer, the opening segment went 10 minutes longer than originally planned. This reportedly led to WWE producers scrambling backstage to adjust the lost time during the rest of the show. The beginning of the segment saw Punk thank his fans and his wife, AJ Lee, for support before going through a list of challengers. After Logan Paul came out, the two stars had a back and forth. Paul Heyman then came out with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed to interrupt them. The Bronsons then attacked CM Punk as Paul walked out before getting back into the ring. However, he ended up taking a tsunami from the Auszilla. Punk then came to his rescue, attacking the Vision with a steel chair. The main event of the show saw CM Punk team up with Jey Uso to take on the Vision. The match ended in a double countout after all four stars kept brawling at ringside. The Bronsons quickly gained an advantage with Reed planning a tsunami on Jey. Punk got back into the ring with a steel chair, and both Reed and Breaker got steel chairs of their own to confront the newly crowned World Heavyweight Champion. Logan Paul then rushed to the ring, and it seemed he would have Punk's back. However, the Maverick blasted the champion with the brass knuckles and aligned himself with the Vision. It now remains to be seen what WWE has planned for this new alliance in the coming weeks. Are we accused of turning its back on loyal fans? WWE has been accused of turning its back on loyal fans by a former champion. The sports entertainment giant has been under the cosh from fans for its exorbitant prices for its events. While the company has been doing record numbers over the last few years, it has come at the cost of rising prices. This has made it difficult for fans to regularly attend shows as TKO looks to maximize its earnings. This move has been called out by legends such as Rob Van Dam, and former WWE Hardcore champion Maven also addressed this issue recently. On TMZ's Sports Inside the Ring podcast, Maven was asked about the soaring prices, and he didn't hold back in his assessment. He said making shows affordable for families was something Vince McMahon understood. It's one of the things that angers me the most. You can say what you want about Vince McMahon. Vince knew that the everyday family was where his bread was buttered. He knew that in order to create generational fans, he was going to have to make his product accessible on a weekly basis, accessible on a monthly basis at an affordable rate, he said. Maven mentioned how earlier people would pool in money to buy a pay-per-view and recalled his experience of attending his first show. I remember also going to my first show when I was, I think, 7 years old. I asked my dad how much that cost. He told me it was about $300 for everything. The tickets, the parking, the food, everything. $300 for everybody. That was his whole investment. That right now you're not even getting one good ticket for that. They're pricing out loyal fans, he added. A recent report by WrestleNomics recently revealed that ticket prices for WWE's weekly main roster television shows have approximately doubled since the TKO merger. Fans have voiced their displeasure at rising ticket prices for WWE events, but it looks like TKO isn't budging anytime soon. In September, TKO's chief operating officer Mark Shapiro indicated that fans should expect a further increase in prices. During the Goldman Sachs Communicopia Plus Technology Conference, Shapiro stated that WWE had work to do when it came to its ticket yield and catching up with UFC. WWE has gone downhill since Vince McMahon's exit. Former WWE head writer Vince Russo recently shared his thoughts on the current product after Vince McMahon's departure. The 80-year-old stepped down from his role as chairman and CEO of the company. After Vince McMahon's departure from the WWE, Triple H took over the reins of the creative team. The game saw a lot of initial success as chief content officer of the company, with WWE doing record numbers in attendance gates and merchandise sales. Of late, Hunter has come under criticism for failing to bring out compelling storylines and create new stars. On a recent episode of Writing with Russo, the wrestling veteran noted that for several years, fans claimed that Vince McMahon was out of touch and demanded that he leave the business. However, Russo pointed out that when Mr. McMahon stepped away from the company, the product took a turn for the worse. The veteran writer added that a small section of hardcore fans believe that the current product under Triple H is better, but their numbers are decreasing. Everybody for years and years and years were screaming and begging for Vince to get out of wrestling. Obviously, he got out of wrestling, not the way he would have decided. But if anybody thinks it's a better business without Vince, I'd say you're absolutely out of your mind. He continued, "Oh, the marks. I think the marks think it's 1000% better. The problem is that the marks are dwindling. That's the problem. There's less and less people thinking that. Ahead of this week's episode of Monday Night Raw, Triple H promised that the landscape of WWE would change. It will be interesting to see what changes come up in the company in the next few weeks. WWE has gone in the crapper since Vince McMahon left. Former WWE head writer Vince Russo recently spoke about Vince McMahon's management style. The 80-year-old veteran was the former chairman and CEO of WWE. Mr. McMahon made WWE a global phenomenon in sports entertainment. His global expansion plan made the company a household name with a worldwide reach. However, he had to step away from his role as chairman and CEO after a lawsuit was filed against him by former employee Janelle Grant. Endeavor Group took over the promotion and clubbed it with UFC under a new company, TKO. On a recent episode of Writing with Russo, the wrestling veteran noted some of Vince McMahon's positive contributions to the business. He felt it was important to look at Mr. McMahon as a professional and separate his personal demons from his business savvy. Russo claimed that when the boss stepped away from his roles in WWE and TKO took over, the company lost its way. He felt that without Vince's guidance, the company had degraded across multiple levels. We gotta separate Vince the personal from Vince the professional. We gotta separate business from personal. I agree with this 100%. I think that company has gone in the cripper when the transition was made from Vince McMahon to TKO on so many levels. Vince McMahon has expressed his interest in returning to the entertainment business on several occasions. He recently started making public appearances, and several WWE superstars, including John Cena, Drew McIntyre, and The Miz, were at his birthday bash earlier this year. The former boss is also rumored to be attending John Cena's last match on December 13th at Saturday night's main event. Another major name rumored to be present at the event is U.S. President Donald Trump. Why WWE made WrestleMania ad with major stars only? Former WWE head writer Vince Russo recently spoke about the company's WrestleMania advert. The ad featured major stars such as Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, Paul Heyman, and Triple H. Last week, WWE aired some vignettes on its social media accounts. The video packages had fans speculating about what WWE was trying to build excitement. The small snippets were to promote WrestleMania in Las Vegas next year. The ad featured the company's top stars at a poker table, overseen by Paul Heyman and Triple H. On a recent episode of Writing with Russo, the wrestling veteran noted that WrestleMania tickets went online a few weeks ago. He felt WWE put their muscle into the ad to sell more tickets. Russo pointed out that back in the day, WrestleMania tickets would sell out immediately after going online. However, with the current product, the company was still pushing to sell the tickets to their biggest show of the year. He stated that the real reason for the ad was to sell more tickets to the grandest stage of them all. I mean, bro, if WrestleMania tickets have already gone on sale, and then they're doing a commercial after that, they're doing the commercial to sell tickets. WrestleMania used to sell out immediately. Now they had to do this commercial because it's not selling out, Russo said. WrestleMania 42 will emanate from the Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. The event will return to the city on April 18th and 19th. Two-day combo tickets and packages for the event are available on Ticketmaster. A female WWE star is getting a backstage role because of Shawn Michael. According to ex-WWE writer Vince Russo, the fact that a smaller-sized female superstar is producing a men's tag team match is questionable, and her role was acquired due to Shawn Michael's influence. On the latest episode of Writing with Russo, host Dr. Chris Featherstone addressed the rumor from WrestleVotes, which revealed that Candice LeRae has gotten a new role as a backstage producer. A few weeks ago, she reportedly produced a match before SmackDown on a WWE main event taping, being responsible for putting together the Street Profits versus Los Garzas. Vince Russo said that HBK loves Johnny Gargano, who is married to Candice LeRae, which is why she got the role of a backstage producer. He didn't seem impressed at the idea of a 110-pound female star producing a match featuring 4 veteran talents who are much bigger than her. If that obviously doesn't reek of good old boy network, Shawn Michaels loves Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano is married to Candice LeRae. Give me a freaking break. A 100-pound woman is going to be the agent for their match? Vince Russo didn't mince his words when it comes to what he thinks about the creative heads of WWE and NXT, respectively. The two best friends now run key parts of WWE, and Russo thinks that they need to go. On Vince Russo's The Brand, the ex-WWE writer said that the Game and HBK shouldn't be in charge of the entire creative aspect of the sports entertainment juggernaut. They're incompetent, bro. This is incompetent. These are not the people who should be in charge. Triple H and freaking Shawn Michaels should be agents at best. They should not be in charge, Russo said. What's interesting is that some have pegged Shawn Michaels as the potential successor to Triple H should he leave, be fired, or simply get burned out. In the same way Triple H was groomed for his role through developing NXT, HBK has had a few years of hands-on experience running WWE's developmental wing. Time will tell what happens, and many may not agree with Vince Russo's assessment of Michaels. While NXT hasn't reached the same heights that it did in the mid to late 2000s, Michaels has undeniably given the brand some stability, helping produce some incredible talent. The NXT women's division in particular has been considered by many as a huge achievement due to the depth and quality that it has had in the last couple of years. WWE scraps major John Cena plans. John Cena's legendary WWE career is set to end in the coming weeks, and there's a high chance that the management has reportedly scrapped major plans around the franchise player heading into his final weeks as a performer. Earlier this year, Dominic Mysterio became a top star in the industry as he stepped out of the shadows of the Judgment Day and his Hall of Famer father when he captured the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania 41. Moreover, fans praised Dirty Dom's heel tactics, which reminded everyone of Eddie Guerrero. A while back, the Wrestling Observer newsletter, WON, reported that Cena could face Dominic Mysterio for the title at WWE Survivor Series 2025. Moreover, the major plans would have led the franchise player to eventually cross paths with Gunther in his final ever match. Unfortunately, those plans might have been scrapped. Speaking on the Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer stated that with Rey Mysterio's return and confrontation with Dirty Dom, the company is planting seeds for a title match between the two at WWE Survivor Series 2025. Moreover, Meltzer thinks it's the ideal plan, as the event takes place in San Diego, California, and both the father and son will get a great reaction. This also means that John Cena might not be in contention for the Intercontinental Championship and could retire without winning the workhorse title. John Cena broke into the industry as an outsider and became the face of the company for over a decade. From almost getting fired to breaking Ric Flair's record, the franchise player built a legendary career as a performer in the Stamford-based promotion. However, the 48-year-old veteran is set to retire in December, and a 16-man tournament called The Last Time Is Now was announced, where the winner will get to become John Cena's final ever opponent in the company. As of now, Damian Priest versus Rusev and Sheamus versus Shinsuke Nakamura have been announced. Moreover, the management teased that superstars who are not in WWE might also be in the tournament. It'll be interesting to see which star earns the opportunity to face John Cena. The Rock's final boss character is returning. A massive WWE superstar claimed that fans have not seen the last of The Rock's final boss character. The Rock hasn't appeared since aligning with John Cena at Elimination Chamber 2025 after the legend shockingly turned heel. Speaking on the All the Smoke podcast, Cody Rhodes praised The Rock's final boss character and made an interesting claim about the future of the gimmick. The American Nightmare claimed that the company had only scratched the surface on the character, suggesting that the Great One could be returning down the line. He came back to a very tumultuous WWE a year or so ago and decided, nope, I'm not going to deal with that. I'm going to create a new character even though I'm already one of the greatest characters ever, that being the final boss. And we've just scratched the surface of the final boss. There's something incredibly special there, he said. Rhodes defeated Drew McIntyre at Saturday night's main event to retain the Undisputed WWE Championship. The 40-year-old hit McIntyre with a DDT on top of the title and then followed it up with the Crossroads for the pinfall victory. Cody Rhodes recently shared when he will be walking away from in-ring competition. During his conversation on the All the Smoke podcast, Rhodes shared that the next contract that he signed would likely be his last. The champion noted that he was getting older and wanted to walk away while he was still in good health. I'd like to make it by that time that when they hit that age, I'm not gone that often, or I can't really walk around much. We're getting closer. What I'd say is that probably my last contract with WWE or the next contract I sign will probably be my last. Finish my days with WWE. It's the house that built me and the house that brought me back and put me in this wonderful position. It's very, very hard to balance. When you're in it, you've got to be in it. It will be interesting to see which star challenges Cody Rhodes for the title next, following his victory over Drew McIntyre at Saturday night's main event over the weekend.